It is a little early, but why don't we go ahead and get started? I'm amazed that you people are coming to see this crap. Fair enough. For those of you who don't know me, which I assume is all of you, I'm SCXCR. I do occasional Creepypasta readings and writings, and I also do panels like this about Crappypasta. Why? When I do this panel, I like to incorporate lessons so that people can learn how to better write creepypastas. And one important lesson is punctuation is important.
Yes, I know that.
It's very, very important. If you have too little punctuation, you end up with a story like this. This is something called Be Tidy.
Are you going to like to project on the screen so we can see all of this?
It's okay, I have a couple of rules. I pronounce spelling mistakes however I please. Caps lock is always shouting. And no punctuation just means read really fast. I actually used to do a drinking game with this panel, and I had to stop after the first time, because there were just so many cliches. Yes, I was. Okay, be tidy.
Hell crazy. Let me show you how to keep the dice rolling when you're doing that thing over there.
Was a little girl named Veronica. She was a nice girl with a soft heart. One day she was brushing her hair when she heard a fly grunting from the corner of the bedroom, and she turned around and there was nothing there, so she went to bed. Then that slight puff of smoke streaked over her hair. When she woke up in the morning, her hair was as greasy as a KFC kitchen. As greasy as a KFC kitchen. Tastes so good in my KFC kitchen, girl. Anyway, but she just shrugged her shoulders and went to school. At school, Veronica had lots of friends, but she went into her classroom. No one would sit next to her because of the stench. She even got chucked out of her classroom and sent home. Then her mom told her to go upstairs and brush her hair and get some clothes on that didn't stink. She looked in the mirror and a flash of smoke entered the room. That smoke became a person. That person was her sister. "Hello, sis," whispered her sister Scarlett. "Do you remember me? You always used to take everything I owned, and then you pushed me out the window, and then you erased mom's memory so that I never existed. Now the same will happen to you. The floor killed a pest, and now the next day, Veronica's mom entered her room, and there was nothing there except the stench of stink." Too little punctuation is bad. Too much punctuation, also bad. This is something called that man in the window. I have gone over this trying to count the amount of commas, ellipses, and periods, and I have failed miserably to do so every time. I was with my friend. With that man in the window. Crossing our paths, he said those things. Our world was changed. Because of that man in the window. I was with my friend and went to bed. Oh, what a mistake we did. To look at that man. I woke up and saw that man. The man in the window. In my room, watching us. I quickly closed my eyes. Oh, that face. Of that man in the mirror stuck in my mind. Sadly, for my friend, I hear screaming. Because of that man in the window. Now here I type with blood on my fingers. Was really that man, oh, that man in the window. So now, close your eyes and wait. Because of that man in the window, your life is correct. Does anyone know what that word means? I tried looking it up. Apparently, it's the largest and most populous of the Greek islands, and the 5th largest island in the Mediterranean Sea.
So is Hendrix an island?
That would be an amazing story. You need to get on that.
I'm an aspiring writer.
Awesome.
You sound like William Shatner.
Yeah, you sound
Yeah.
I don't know.
best answer.
Okay, another important writing point. Having a plot is good. Just don't forget what it is after the title of the story. So this is, oh my god. How do you pronounce this character's name? Ariou. Ario Secret. Ario Secret. Okay, I got it. Ario is a simple young pega-cat. Half a sentence in, yes. Oh, well, in parentheses it says winged cat. And it's a simple young pega-cat. Going to school like any other kid. Or at least, that's what it seems like. It was the first day of the 7th grade for Ario. He had just moved to town. His only friend was Kellen, a cat who was friends with him since kindergarten. He lived with Kellen, along with his nephew, Basil. Basil's mother died a year ago, leaving Ario to care for the young kid. Basil's mother was named Alexandra, or Alex for short. Ario and Alex were the closest siblings you could find, despite Alex's horrible condition. Alex had a disease where every night she would turn into a dead version of herself, a zombie almost. A cat with this condition will attack anything in its path. On a night with a full moon, if you are attacked by one of these cats, you will become one yourself. Question? Good question. One night, with a full moon, Alex was outside her home. Why? Looking for souls to transform. Ario awoke from a bad dream. Against his better judgment, he looked out his window and saw Alex looking around. Confused, he went outside to see what she was doing. Big mistake. Ario called Alex's name. What are you doing here? He asked. Alex turned around, a gleam in her red eyes. Why do you look like that? Ario asked. Alex hissed and ran toward him. Ario screamed. Alex slashed at Ario's eye with her huge claws. Ario! Oh, God. I feel like I'm dry heaving when I say this character's name. Ario screamed and begged for mercy as his eye was torn from his skull. Just then, a neighbor woke up from all the commotion. She looked outside and saw the horrifying battle. She then called the police, who arrived 5 minutes later. Alex turned from the maimed Ario and ran toward the cops. One of the policemen pulled a gun and fired. Alex lay on the ground, blood pouring from her wound. No! Ario screamed. Alex transformed back to her original self, crying on the ground. Ario ran toward her. Alex, please be okay, he cried. Ario, said Alex. I'm sorry. I love you, brother. Alex had taken her last breath and died. Ario lay over her dead body and began to cry. With only one eye, he cried more than he ever had in his entire life. You realize asking questions is not going to help you. What's the secret?
It's called Ario's Secret.
Another important point about pasta writing. Having a twist is good for your pasta, just don't overdo it. Case in point. This is, yes?
That's why they never buy the guns, because they can't shoot.
I imagine this is like Winnie the Pooh, where you got humans and different kinds of animals. Maybe a monkey that could shoot the gun.
It's Robin, he's a gun.
Selfish Harold. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere lived Harold and his wife, Lily. Lily was getting more and more ill as the days passed. Lily, how are you feeling today? Harold asked.
Go. Find me a doctor,
Lily said. Okay, I'll go. Stay safe while I'm gone. Here. I don't know why he talks in that voice. That's just how I imagine he talks. Possibly. Harold said, feeling bad. And with those words, Harold was off to find a doctor, only to find that the doctor was in the next town over. Harold boarded on a train. He found a seat in the back. He sat down.
Hello, dearie. Mind if I sit by you?
A smelly old lady asked. What is with smells in these creepypastas? I'm sorry, there is no room, Harold said, lying.
Oh, I see.
The old lady said, walking away. The train stopped in the next town, and Harold got off the train and headed for the doctor's office. Wow, I'm hungry. Maybe I should stop for some food, Harold said to himself. There looks like a good place to eat, Harold said, walking into a sandwich shop. He ordered a sandwich and left the shop. He sat on a bench while eating his sandwich. He looked over to see a bony boy sitting next to him. Can I have a piece of your sandwich? Said the boy. No, Harold said, eating his sandwich whole. Wow, that's impressive. He needs to go to that Coney Island hot dog eating contest pronto. Harold went to the doctor's office. He waited 30 minutes and then finally got service. Harold, the doctor said. Will you help my wife? Harold asked. Why? You didn't help me, the doctor said, morphing into the bony boy and the old smelly hag. This next line sums up my feelings precisely. What? Harold said, running out of the doctor's office. He hurried and jumped on the train and got home. He ran inside and up the stairs. Lily? He looked over at the bed. Oh, you're just asleep, Harold said. I'm going to go take a bath and go to bed, Harold said, going into the bathroom. Harold got into the bath. The water is just right, Harold said before drifting off to sleep. Hours later, that is actually written here, hours later, Harold awoke in the bath that was filled with a strange red liquid. Any guesses? Any guesses? Any guesses? Somebody else. Okay, screw all of you. Oh my God, it's blood! Harold yelled, jumping out of the bath. Harold put his robe on and went to his bed. I think that means that his robe just has a really good golf handicap. He then fell back asleep. Morning. Harold awoke. Lily, Harold called. Only Lily was nowhere to be seen. Only then had Harold realized there never was a Lily. He never boarded the train. He never even went to see a doctor. And with all these thoughts filling his head, Harold opened the window and jumped. And when Harold woke up, he was dead. The more you try to make sense of this, the worse it's going to get. Dream a dream. Now I'm going to get into some particular genres of pasta, in particular theory pastas for this one. I have a love-hate relationship with theory pastas, because some people just use it as an excuse to write absolutely anything. Case in point, ScoobyDoo theory. You're not quite going to understand why I chose to read this one until I get to the last couple of lines. And away we go. ScoobyDoo is just a normal, popular kids' television show, right? Wrong! ScoobyDoo is a drug-induced cartoon and is very fantasy-like. Shaggy is a hippie high school dropout who spends most of his free time getting high up on drugs. If you ever want to know if somebody has never experienced, like, even heard of drugs in their life, they use phrases like, get high up on drugs. Scooby-Doo does exist, but he doesn't talk. It's the hallucination. Scooby and Shaggy sat in the back of the mystery machine because they would smoke weed back there. Thus explaining why when the mystery machine took off, smoke came out of it. They drive an electric car. I don't see what the problem is with that. As for Scooby snacks, they are drugged up. This explains why Scooby and Shaggy get more courage after eating them, simply because the drugs kick in. Shaggy and Scooby eat a ton, and it's because of the munchies. Scooby also earned the nickname Scooby-Dooby-Doo from all the doobies or joints he took in. Also in the movie, Shaggy eventually falls in love with a girl named Mary Jane. Mary Jane is quite synonymous to marijuana. But what about the rest of the gang? Why do the jock and popular girl hang out with the nerd and the stoner kid? And the dog. Well, Fred and Daphne are a couple from the popular gang. But they didn't care as much about getting popular as they did getting high. And the gang gets drugs because Velma messes with the chemistry of growing weed. Shaggy will stop at no cost for getting some. Daphne has tons of money being rich, and Fred's being the leader of it all. Also, Fred and Daphne are sex addicted. They secretly go off to the mystery machine to exchange and do strange acts while Velma, Shag, and Scoob go the complete other direction. And what else about Velma? A lot of people think she's a lesbian. But the truth is, she hangs out with the gang less for the drugs I need a moment. Less for the drugs and more for the dog. She's attracted to animals. She did things to Scooby while the others weren't looking. Let's move on. Hey, how about that Jeff the Killer? Yes?
You're beautiful. Please don't hit me. Oh, sure.
Now you know, and knowing is half the battle.
Am I allowed to actually make this?
So, okay, this is not actually about Jeff the Killer, it's about Jeff the Killer spin-off. And I have two... I actually have, like, a few of these pasted in. I'll come back to them if I have time later, but right now, let's just go to... Hold on.
I think your Slapjack's a pretty bad one.
Yes. Have you seen the one with the time-traveling dad with a shotgun named Pacemaker? That is amazing. For now, though, let's hear about the adventures of James The Dream Stealer, if I can find the music. There it is. Have you Eves heard of him? He is the last one from his family after going insane and killing his wife and child. He killed himself. The devil had a plan for him. He got inside the dreams of the living, causing sleepwalking. Then in a sudden interruption will be malfunctions in the brain. After he gets into contact, he immediately causes headache or coma in some cases. The only way to protect yourself is to use wooden cross or a bottle of holly water. To protect yourself. Pour, as in lacking money, holly water around your house and aluminum hats. So are we pouring aluminum hats around the house too?
How does one pour aluminum?
And for the children,
Very careful.
they cannot be saved.
Oh
Oh dear. I need a volunteer for this next one.
no! I'll do it.
You, what's your name? Pamela. Awesome. I have a story here called Strange Night. This is technically not Jeff the Killer, but I'm counting it as such anyway. If you would, come up here, please. You're going to read the dialogue for the protagonist. All of your parts are in boldface and caps lock because that's how this author rolls. Also, I don't know if English is the first language of the person who wrote this, so work with it how you can. No. Just these words. I was reading book when the strange thing started. I think it's 3 a.m. I heard strange voices. I went to look to window. It was a strange night. Suddenly, I heard a scream, and I went to the balcony. There aren't any people. I went out to the city, and I tried to call my friends, but the phone isn't work. I heard a scream again, and I ran to the scream. I couldn't found anything. I went Old Street. What does that mean? Oh, I think I got it. In order to go old school, you have to take the old street to get to the old school. So we're taking it back to the old school. Oh, there it is. I was alone there. After that, I heard same scream again. I ran to the saloon, and I saw blood. Everywhere covered by blood. I walked and I saw my friend's dead body. She took my carpus and she said, Jessica, go out there. Go out the city. If you don't, you will. She died. I walked in Dice, the saloon, and I saw my boyfriend's bloody dead body. I screamed, and I saw a note on his body. There, writing, Dearly Jess, I heard some things about you. You are a brave girl, but not enough. I wondered you or your family. I took help from my friend. You know him, you know me. If you brave enough, come to Old City, a restaurant apartment, number 18. I'm waiting. Brian. I ran there and entered. I said,
Yeah, Brian, I am here. What you want to say me?
You are so stupid, girl dear!
What are you meaning?
I am not Brian, Did you saw your boyfriend? He is so stupid like you!
Here's my family.
Oh dear, please be slow. Look in the mirror and read it loudly. I went to look in the mirror and I read,
Welcome to Otherworld.
Good, look carefully. How can I wrote it? Or what I used? I looked carefully and I said,
Oh God, what's blood?
True, your parents' blood, and now it's your turn.
Let me see your face.
Okay. He come to me, and I understood. He was the Jonasy. I'm just gonna assume this is the other Jonas brother. I tried to escape, but
That's
he
pretty
caught me.
scary, actually.
He put knife in my neck and he said, "You mustn't try it. If you didn't try it, you won't die painy. And now, first I make torture to you."
Sweet, sweet torture.
He cut my arm and my leg after the sun appeared. This is a really slow killer. The polices come there. I was crying and faulting. I guess she was playing tennis at the time. Polices take me mental hospital because I've been schizophrene. After I learned sometime it is how can I escape from mental. Thank you for volunteering for this garbage. You know what? I'm actually, hold on. I'm going to need one more volunteer. You, sir. What is your name? Andrew. Andrew, come on up. Yes, sir. Now, there's a reason I didn't tell you what story you were reading before you came up here. We're going to read something called Ben Drowned and Jeff the Killer Boy Ex-Boy. Now, just a moment. Your eyes do not deceive you, that is the correct paper. Without further ado, unless my playlist won't cooperate, here we go. Ben Drowned and Jeff the Killer Boy Ex-Boy. You will be reading for Ben. The end. This is a completely blank document that got uploaded to fanfiction.net. But if you turn the paper over, there are some reviews of this story. And I would like you to read the ones in bold. Where is it?
Dumbass, you tricked me.
You're, spelled wrong, really stupid. You know that.
The hell, why are there no words?
There is nothing here.
FAQ, you bitch.
F you.
How do read it?
Okay, this is a smiley, but
The FAQ is this?
okay, let's both read this one. Put all of your anger behind it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I hate you! That review, by the way, is from username Lake Cross Ben. Thank you. Oh! Read something that I don't usually do for these panels. This is something I like to call the original character do not steal showcase.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God.
Now, this took several, 10 minutes on DeviantArt. I'm just gonna go ahead and go through these really quick. This one is called Homicidal Louise. This is actually the best one out of all of these. And up next, we have Okay. Something went wrong with the scanner on this one. This is Stitches, which I think translated into Japanese becomes Hatsune Miku. Oh. Say hello to Dark Travis. According to his profile, he has 2 times the darkness levels of regular Travis. He's also apparently a boss in Creepypasta the Fighters, which I think, by the looks of this, is going to run on the IMVU engine. Oh, now we're getting to the good ones. Computer.exe. It's hard to tell, but there is a body and an arm to that thing, and it's holding either a knife or a cheese wedge. This is Silence. This is not a member of the X-Men. The author reserved a large space of this profile to tell you that she is in fact straight. She apparently likes attention from boys and waffles and dislikes anything that is disgusting. This is, let's just move on. This is, let's just move on. Oh, this might be my favorite. I don't know what this is. I don't know what it's supposed to be.
That's terrifying.
Is it a Vulpix?
It looks like something off of My Little Pony.
It's somebody's pet, that's all I know, and it really likes tattoos. I take it back, this might be my favorite. This is Huggable.exe. It's apparently a battle bear. Does anyone know what battle bears is?
It was like a telephone game. I remember.
Oh, great. This, I just sigh every time I see this. This is Shoulder Blade. Now, this is not just the person's Creepypasta original character, it is also their persona. Their likes include burritos, nerds, and shocker of all shocks, Five Nights at Freddys. And I saved the most original one for last. This is Smiley. Can anyone guess what Smiley's catchphrase is?
Smile.
No, that wouldn't be original. This is the totally original catchphrase of spread the curse. Speaking of Five Nights at Freddys. I found a lot of bad ones for this, but there's funny bad and then there's boring bad, and that's the trouble of doing panels like these. However, I did find something I hope you enjoy, which is called Five Nights at Freddys 2.exe. I made a bad choice, and real bad choice. I was watching Markiplier play FNAF 2, mistake number 1, and I had a thought. I should open up Chrome and search for the full game? Nope. I opened uTorrent and searched for Five Nights at Freddys 2. Hey, that looks legit. I pressed download. I went to the kitchen to take coffee and Ben & Jerry's chocolate brownie fudge. I also opened up my Wii to play NSWB, which I modded. So we downloaded the game to play a different game. After an hour, I took 8 other brownie fudge ice cream. Oh my god, how much ice cream does this guy eat? And I went to the computer. Oh, it has downloaded. I opened the game and also opened the ice cream. That's important. I ran to the kitchen to take a spoon. How did he eat the other ice cream? I heard something weird from the computer like, "Leave now." I didn't care. But I pressed new game after I took the spoon. I felt that something was happening. I passed the first night. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I got to the second night. I looked at the camera. The marionette was writing something on the walls. "Quit now or suffer." I looked at the real-life clock. 19:32 p.m. I decided to leave the computer alone and I went to watch the news. But before I was in the living room, I heard the jump scare sound. I said, I'll play tomorrow. I turned on the TV and I switched to the news channel. Something about a man dead in a kid's pizzeria. When I played the first one, the same happened. Was the game cursed? I started to cry. I went to my computer. I saw the Night Watch dead. Guts all over the floor. I went to my bathroom to puke. After I puked and ate food, brush your teeth! I went to sleep. I dreamt I was the night monster. It felt realistic. Not hyper-realistic, that would be poor writing. In the dream, I ran to the front door and broke it open. The animatronics bited me in the dream. They took my arm. I woke up and I saw someone in my room. A shadow, like Freddys. I took my M1911, which had one clip, and I moved around my house. I'm betting anything it's an airsoft gun. I was knocked out, and I woke up in a party room? I was strapped in a chair. The animatronics were staring at me. Chica said, "We just want to kill play." I woke up. A dream in a dream. Someone ran at me and bit my leg like Anne Lion. I was knocked out. I woke up in a hospital. Anne Lion is like the Anne Hero version of lions. What happened? Why am I here? The nurse said, "You were bitten by an animatronic. You're fine though." After I got home, I opened the game. Freddy said, "Complete the game." I finished night 5. I went to look in my mailbox. A check? For me? $120 for playing a video game? I went to sleep happily. I heard the Freddy jingle. I knew it wasn't my computer. I took the hard drive of my PC, I took a sledgehammer, you know the rest. Just uninstall the game. I went to sleep, and I thought, I'll just buy the game from Steam. After I get a new hard drive. Anyone familiar with the term flash fiction? Yeah, like really short stories. So, now in regular fiction, you should make every word count. It's especially important in flash fiction. And I have a couple of stories, but I only have one song. Let's see if I can get through both of them in the allotted time. This is called YouTube is Waiting. W-A-C-H-I-N-G. This happened around 10 years ago. I was on YouTube, you know, watching Aaron 6. Plug. But I kept getting a weird feeling, like someone was watching me. And then I knew YouTube was watching me. I shut off my laptop and ran downstairs. At this point, I was really scared. You have the author's permission to be scared. I called my friends over and we all saw it. And ever since, I've never gone on YouTube again. So keep in mind, YouTube may be watching you. Well, he spelled it right the last time. Moving on, this is a story called High Fives. Warning, high fives will maybe kill you the next day. Have a nice day, and remember, do not high five anyone! I'm gonna be quadruple dead tomorrow. Okay, I need your guys' help with this one. I have 2 Poképasta stories. Yes. But I need your help choosing which one I read. Do we read True Lavender Town Story or Pokemon Creepypasta collab? Votes for True Lavender Town Story. And Pokemon Creepypasta collab. It's lose-lose either way. I believe we will do True Lavender Town Story. Before Slendy was around, when he was a shield, he played Pokemon a lot. And he loved it until he found Lavender Town. It just gave him chills and scared him. He found it depressing, so when he grew up into Slendy, he thought, I will take down this depressing town because it haunted him. Because he saw a Pokemon die there. So when he was older, Slendy, he got his old Game Boy and took the cord and jammed it into his face, pulling him into the game. That's how it works, right? Hold on. That's not how it works. Why did I do that? Where was I? So he thought the only way to end this terrible place is to kill everyone that enters, even Pokemon. So whenever someone got here, all one word, they were being stalked in-game. So when he got close enough, he attacked, ripping them to pieces. All but the trainer, levying them there in horror, and he tore them apart limb by limb. So after years, see that the trainer went to their grave, and he said he was sorry, and that he should have never brought them there. Later that night, Slender Man emerged from the game and killed the boy who was that trainer, so he had no witnesses, and continued on stalking kids and killing them. Slow clap, please.
Wow.
You didn't have to do that. You really didn't have to do that. I want to make sure I have time for the ending, so I'm going to move ahead a little bit. And I'm going to go to just general video game pastas. There's this one here. I'm not swearing when I say this, thanks to the way the guy spelled this. Skyrim is fucking. F-O-C-K-I-N-G. This is a real story. You can believe it or not. Do you believe? But Skyrim is haunted. I was playing with my friend called Math. I was playing Skyrim. We were sitting in my room. My dad was not home, and my mom Diddy 2 days ago. I think that means she became Diddy Kong. Sob, I was sad. I was in a mine where I was killing spiders. I could not get out of the mine, and it was lacking a lot. The whales were moving. I was trying to log out, but I could not do it. I saw a spider, but then it was just gone. Keepy, I said from my shield. Then I was reading in the console command, what is happening? My feelings exactly. I was writing. And then there was coming some I haven't seen before. Skyrim was writing to me. But was it Skyrim that was doing it? I was afraid. It wrote, you afraid. Oh, I could not believe it. Sorry, believe it. I locked my computer down and said to Math, I were going to bed. That nicky I didn't sleep, and the next morning, my computer didn't worky. And now I got a new one, and I will never play Skyrim, never. This just sounds like normal buggy Skyrim to me. My new PC is a Acer and it working fine, but I will never forget that knit. And I know it's not all is spilled writ. It's not all spilled writ. Spilled writ. Did you just say what I think you said? Anyway, let's move on. I have another video game pasta here for you. This one is called Aladdin is Dead. And it also demonstrates one of the tropes that I absolutely hate about the pastas. Aladdin is dead. You know, I can show you the way. Aladdin. And that particular trope is, don't tell people it's your first creepypasta story. Where is the music? There you go. This is my first creepypasta, and I tried to leave out as many cliches as I can. He didn't. So I was on my computer searching for cool glitches to do in SNES games, and I found a glitch called Aladdin is Dead. I clicked on the picture for it, and I saw that his eyes were gone, but no blood flowing from it, just jet black where his eyes should be. So I was on my computer searching for cool glitches to do on SNES games, and I'm rereading the same paragraph. Oops. I said, cool, I'll try it on my emulator. I did the glitch, and my game froze, so I said, I knew it wouldn't work. So I went and played Super Mario World and beat Bowser, and I said, I want to play Aladdin. So I did, and when I started the game, I noticed Aladdin had no eyes. Just jet black like the glitch said. So I thought, hey, the glitch worked. But I had no idea it was evil. I started the game, and the monkey, I forget his name, BTW, it's a boo! I haven't seen Aladdin in decades, and I know that. It looked like an imp, but that's not the worst part. The worst part is, whenever I enter, I would jump on someone, they decompose, and then I would beat a level, and instead of the genie showing up, the devil would appear. And the wheel would be a pentagram. So I spun it, and I landed on one of the points, and the devil started chanting a very unsettling ritual. And then, that's when I tried to turn off the game. He said, no, you're mine. And then my door slammed closed by itself, and the devil stuck his hand out of my screen and said, your soul is mine. Then he started to suck my soul. Oh, that's inappropriate. I should have applied for 18 plus candle fish rate. Once he finished, my power went out, and, well, let's just say I am a ginger without the red hair. Fantastic. Thank your friends for selling you out. Okay. I have a couple more video game pastas, and I do have time, so we should be able to do this. I need your help choosing again. Are we going to read Glass-Eyed Monster or The Suicide Channel? Okay, Suicide Channel? Glass-Eyed Monster? Sorry. By the way, in case the title doesn't give it away, this is about the Wii. I was digging through my attic. ADIC. Until I found an SD card that instead of having a label, it had a small piece of tape that said Wii Games, written in marker. So I put it in my Wii and explored it. I almost noticed all of them, except for one named Suicide Channel. I left the SD channel and checked the data management in Wii settings and noticed that the channel took 666 blocks. So I decided to start the channel, and this is where it got weird. The channel title was written in blood, and instead of saying start, it said leave now and die! So I decided to press die. He does not say, I can only assume so. You know what? I'm actually going to need another volunteer for this one. Yeah! You know what? You've been really enthusiastic about this the whole time. Yes. And you are reading everything in bold. And I'm actually going to need a narrator. Mr. Creepypasta, would you like to come up front? Thank you for agreeing to this nonsense, sir. You're just reading everything that isn't in italics or bold. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of a very special person called Chocolate Man. September 4th, 2004, in Hershey Peak,
In Hershey, Pennsylvania, a young man working at the Hershey factory was trying to come up with a new kind of chocolate. He thought and thought, but the company did not like his ideas. At the end of his shift, he went home upset.
I'll show them. I just need to think of something that they will all like, or my name isn't Lee Gomez,
declared the man. He remembered he had a magic wand. Then it hit him.
I will try to come up with a spell that will turn people into miniature chocolate men and women,
said Lee. He thought of some magic words.
Chocolate man is what you will be.
Then he wrote it in Latin.
Sclarius como esties.
And now all he needed was a test subject. Later that day, his friend Jimmy Plum showed up.
Hey, Jimmy. Glad to see you can make it.
I'm glad to help, friend.
Jimmy replied. He was excited to try out some new kind of chocolate. Lee pulled out his wand. Jimmy was confused.
What are you gonna do with that?
Asked Jimmy.
Sclarius como esties,
said Lee. Jimmy's skin started to bubble and he begins screaming. Lee starts laughing crazily.
What did you do?
Screamed Jimmy.
you're turning you into a chocolate man.
Exclaimed Lee. Still laughing maniacally. Jimmy suddenly started to shrink before his bubbly skin starts to turn into chocolate. After a few minutes, Jimmy became a chocolate man. Lee could not wait to show him to his boss. The next day, Lee went to his boss with a chocolate man.
This seems interesting. Let me taste it.
Said Lee's boss. Lee gave it to his boss. His boss tried it.
Are those cherries and marshmallows inside?
Asked the boss. Lee nodded.
You know what? I will let you make more of these.
Said Lee's boss. Lee was pleased.
Can I make them at home?
Asked Lee. His boss nodded. Lee got some more friends, some workers, and some family members to go to his house, and when they arrived, he would turn them into chocolate people. March 3rd, 2005. After a few months of reports of missing workers and people, Lee's boss became curious. He sent an investigator to see what Lee was doing. The investigator knocked on Lee's door.
Hello, I am Detective Tom McKay.
Introduced the investigator. Lee let him in. Detective McKay started his investigation. He checked everywhere for evidence, but nothing could be found.
Well, I think your boss is just crazy. Why would he think somebody would turn people into chocolate people?
Concluded Detective McKay. Lee shrugged and said,
Well, you should tell him there's nothing wrong.
He waved goodbye to the detective as he left. Lee pulled out his wand from its secret hiding place. He knew what he had to do. The next day, Lee went to talk to his boss.
Detective McKay said that he found nothing wrong.
Said his boss.
There wasn't anything wrong, sir.
Said Lee. His boss rolled his eyes.
I don't think so.
Confronted his boss. Lee raised his eyebrows and then pulled out his wand. His boss quickly snatched it from his hand.
Now, I will report this, and you will explain yourself, Mr. Gomez.
Shouted his boss. Lee had never lied until the day before, but he wasn't going to let himself go to jail, so he ran out the door. His boss chased after him, and after a few hours of running, Lee decided to jump into a machine, turning him into a chocolate man. Lee's boss saw the body. He thought that he should just eat Lee, but Chocolate Lee bit his hand off. Lee's boss started screaming as the blood came rushing out where his arm used to be. Chocolate Lee soon ripped off the top of his boss's head and started to eat his brain. Workers saw that and started fleeing the factory. Before the place was deserted, Chocolate Lee managed to kill 10 other workers by eating their organs and/or body parts. There was blood everywhere from those who were eaten by Chocolate Lee. Detective McKay and his deputy, Ray Jones, went to the factory. They went up to Chocolate Lee.
Can you believe that people actually think this thing can kill people? Though he looks familiar.
said Detective Jones.
Yeah, kinda stupid for people saying that chocolate person is going to go around eat people.
Laughed Detective Jones. When Jones tried to remove Chocolate Lee's hand, Chocolate Lee grabbed Jones's hand. Detective McKay quickly reacted and shot Chocolate Lee's arm. Chocolate Lee fell to the ground. Deputy Jones and Detective McKay were able to get the factory shut down. They both concluded that Lee was able to move being completely made of chocolate because he was a wizard. It also means that the magic is what makes him devour humans in this state. They said he probably used his wand on himself before his boss took it. If you go by the factory today, you might see him by a window with a sign that says,
Try to find a way in and try to eat me!
You might notice that he has both arms attached, and it may seem that his arm never got shot because of his magical abilities, but do not attempt what the sign says, or you will be the 12th kill of Chocolate Lee Gomez.
Thank you so much. Now, I actually do have a little bit of time before the next panel. So I would just like to read you a very quick story. It's not actually a Crappypasta, but I like reading it nonetheless. This is called, well, I won't say it, otherwise it'll give it away. I was sharing a passionate kiss with my romantic interest when my cellular phone alerted me that someone wished to converse with me. The man on the phone inquired as to what I was engaging in with his daughter. Assuming this man was my romantic interest's father, I explained the conversation I had to her. She informed me that her father was deceased. That is when I thought to myself, if her father is dead, then who was conversing with me on the cellular phone? And then, a human skeletal structure appeared. Thank you for coming.